Flapping, 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 slapping,
Flapping,
slapping.
flapping, slapping, slapping. All right. We're back with the long-awaited return of Smoke Break, episode number 2. Last time we were checking out Mortal Kombat 2021. Was it 2020? It was 2021 still. Back
Yeah.
then. It hasn't been that long, Thomas. Calm down.
It was like 2 months ago.
Honestly, I think it's been like 6 months since we did that.
You opened the podcast with many moons ago.
Many moons, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, this time, we're going to be chatting about The Suicide Squad that just came out. In case you thought maybe it was Suicide Squad from 2016, don't worry, they threw in a "the" in the front, so you knew that it was a different movie. This one directed by James Gunn, also the director of both Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So, shout out to him. This movie's bad. It's not good. It's better than the first one. Don't shake your. That first one was a piece of crap, Maverick. Go watch that first one again, and you'll realize. First one set a very low bar. So I'm gonna give this one a 4. There you go. We'll go to Tyler next. We'll save Maverick for last this time.
So, how long was this movie? 1 hour and 37 minutes?
It was 2 hours and 13 minutes.
2 hours, yeah. 2 hours long.
So, I'm going to say this is an amazing movie.
No.
I'm going to say that it deserves a lot of credit. I'm also going to I'm going to give it a 7, but with an asterisk. The asterisk is they should have left Harley Quinn out of this fucking movie. So that's my take on it.
I thought she was better in this one than she was in the first one. But
well, yeah, but that's not saying much, right? Like, I felt like they added her in just to have her in.
Well,
there.
yeah, all right, Maverick. What are you gonna score this one? This is your favorite.
I'm gonna rate this a solid 2.
There you go. Well, hey, spoiler
alert
for the brand new Suicide Squad. You can go check it out on HBO Max if you have HBO Max, or in theaters, but no one's going to the theaters. I'll go over that in a little bit, how no one's going to see it.
I went and saw it in the theaters.
I don't think he did. But anyway, everything's getting ruined. You've been warned.
Including my credibility, apparently.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I didn't like it. I seriously think that what I said I was afraid of happening is happening, which is James Gunn made it, and James Gunn, everyone's sucking his dick from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which I'm a fan of. I like Guardians of the Galaxy. I like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which a lot of people don't like, but I like it, James Gunn, so take that. But he made this movie, and I think everyone's like, oh, well, James Gunn made it, so it's good, and they just say it's good to get that Marvel cred.
I thought this had a lot of James Gunn's, was it trauma?
I mean, it did, trauma.
Trauma, like influences.
The first thing I will give this movie props, I am impressed with how far they went with the R rating. Because they
have a dick in it.
They have a dong. It's just hanging there. They have some titties. They got as many F words.
I got a lot of
F words. There's a dong. It gets killed though. But yeah, when you see R rated for DC, because they've been going in that route the last few years. I think Birds of Prey was R rated. I didn't watch Birds of Prey, so I don't know how far they went in it. If Pops was here, he watched it. He could tell me. But I remember Batman vs Superman, when they put out the Blu-ray, their big thing was it was R-rated on the Blu-ray. And I think you get one line of a guy going, oh, fuck. You know, like, that's it. I know they have the Harley Quinn show, I think, on HBO Max, the animated one that's R-rated. And I'm pretty sure they're saying fuck all over that one. But I'm impressed at how gory and, like, actually R-rated this movie was. So I'll give it that. But anyway. So, by the way, James Gunn totally saw Deadpool 2. Spoilers for Deadpool 2. James Gunn totally saw Deadpool 2 and was like, hey, that was pretty funny when all the guys jumped out of the helicopter and died instantly, right? We should do that in this movie. And that's just how he decided to start the movie off, with everyone just biting the dust. I was surprised they killed off Boomerang. I thought he was going to be around for the movie. I was like, everyone's going to die except for Harley and Boomer. And then that motherfucker, he got some tree splinters in his face, and then he got blowed up.
I hated the start of the movie, dude. It was
The start of the movie wasn't
so
good.
bad. So bad.
Well, I thought it was good. Like, I don't know. What did y'all expect? Like,
Better.
Because I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the first one, and I went into this one a little like jaded, whatever, or like what's the word?
See, I'm the
Prejudice, you know?
yeah, I'm the opposite. I went in this one with real high hopes because the trailer got me hooked in.
Maybe that's the difference. Maybe I went in with no
Yeah.
hopes,
I
and then
the beginning was bad up until, because even me and Pops watched it together, and as they're sitting on the helicopter and they're doing that shit with Weasel where they're like, is this thing a fucking werewolf? And Pete Davidson's freaking out, you know. My dad goes, so you're gonna tell me when this is supposed to be a comedy, right? And I go, I'll let you know when I find out, you know. And so I didn't like it until
Actual Man.
the detachable kid, and he puts off his arms in the best part of the movie when we go the best of worst of that, and he goes up and he's slapping the guys, and me and my dad were like, this is fucking stupid. But that was pretty good, and so it warmed me up after that, and there were parts I enjoyed of it, but the first like 15 minutes to get to that were rough. I was really like, oh, they're gonna pull a Suicide Squad 1 on me. But yeah.
So, okay, just remind me, who are the major stars in the first Suicide Squad? It's Harley Quinn, right? There's everyone else is a no name, right?
Will Smith.
Yeah, the whole Will Smith.
Yeah.
And then the fucking Flag, he was main.
Flag?
No,
Yeah,
that guy's
Flag.
a nobody.
Oh, I have no idea who that guy was. Amanda
Yeah.
Waller is Viola Davis,
Oh, yeah,
which
but-
that's, you know,
She's kind of like behind. I mean, she's been great in both of them, but
she has been great in
Idris-
both of them.
Idris Elba like fucking slayed this
Idris
whole movie.
Elba kills
He
it in this
carried-
movie.
He carried it.
Fucking Polka Dot guy is great too.
Polka Dot
He's
Dude was
pretty
pretty good.
Or
Yeah.
his name would be Polka Dot Man, not guy, but
Yeah.
I don't remember.
We're
Well, I
forgetting
follow
the star of the movie though, which is Milton.
Milton.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's why I think this one's so much better. Is because
I mean, I agree with you. It's way better than the first one.
John Cena was great.
John Cena was great.
Pretty good.
Like all of them, like even the Rat Girl, and like a lot of times they have the tendency of like making the female character too over the top, aka Harley Quinn, or like fucking incredibly useless.
Yeah.
Also the Harley Quinn, but like
I feel like you have something against Harley Quinn here.
Well, it sounds like
I
to
kind
me.
of do. Like, I don't think she's a good actress. I
Wow.
think she can't
I
even
really-
nail the character that they wrote for her.
I really don't. I think she brought it way down. The first one with the fucking "we're bad guys, it's what we do" and shit. I thought she toned it down for this one. I thought she did way better playing the character. I liked her costume because they went with a more traditional Harley. It kind of looked like the Arkham City games Harley,
Yeah.
which it was just the red and black pants and shit. And for the first half of the movie, the second half she spends her whole time in a dress. Because to be fair to what Tyler's saying, she does have a stupid storyline with this fucking. He's the president of where the fuck are they even? I keep wanting to say Cuba, but it's not.
It's like, yeah, Carcarian.
Yeah, but where
Like an
he,
island out somewhere, I think. If I
yeah,
remember correctly.
but he wants to marry her, and so he gives her this nice dress, and it is.
Well, they say she's the people that the guy who rules, the president or whatever the fuck he is. Say she's a big like icon to them because she represents like anti-America.
Yeah,
So he was like, well, if I marry you, then
yeah, which for
you know,
some
everybody will love
reason.
me.
For some reason, that really bothers Harley, that people would think she's anti-American, because you can see she's like, which I was like, why? I don't know why she would care that much about that, but, you know.
I don't know. There was a lot of just this movie seemed random to me. Just like there's so much random that
I just no, we've already done the spoiler warning.
We
whatever.
had.
there was no point to have the javelin or any of that.
No, the javelin, I kept thinking, because the guy is like, you must hold it for, and then he dies or whatever, and she's like, it's so frustrating, he didn't tell me. But I kept thinking she was going to save it for somebody.
I thought she was going to give it to the shark guy and Noawi.
It's Killer Shark, but they call him by his name or something.
Yeah, I figured it was like, because he's supposed to be like, they say it like 7 times in the movie. Oh, he's supposed to be the king of his people.
Yeah.
And everything in this movie is underwater things. And I'm like, well, obviously he's going to get the javelin and he'll be like, bah. Never fucking happened.
No. Like, even, because when there's a part where Killer Shark is playing around with these fucking weird squid light up things or whatever, and they're like making the form of him and shit, and he's like, because that's what he does the whole movie. And then the glass breaks and all the water starts, and I was thinking, this is Killer Shark's time to shine. It's almost like how Killer Croc, they have very similar names. And the whole first Suicide Squad movie was pointless, and then they get to that one part where they're like, we need someone to swim in this fucking sewer and plant a bomb, and he's like, I'll do it, I'm beautiful. And goes down to...
The whole bar scene.
That bar scene was bad.
In both films.
Yeah, bar scene in this one better.
Yeah, I love the bar scene in this one.
Bar scene was good. And John Cena's like, hey, you forgot one for the rat. And they like have to bring back a... I will say, when it gets to, because Idris Elba, you find out he has this fear of rats. And wouldn't you know it, one of his main teammates is the lady who controls rats. And she has one main pet rat with a little purple vest on and shit.
I forgot his name. Frederick or something?
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
But throughout the whole movie, they would go into these parts of what everyone's trauma was. And so Idris Elba is like the last one who gets his turn. And by the time he's like, my dad locked me in a box with rats, I felt them pulling. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, it was so, like, just over at that point. I was like, come on. But
did y'all like the cutbacks to, like, the control hub? Where, like, they're, like, telling them, like, hey, you got people to your left or whatever, and then... like the whole like betrayal where they hit Homegirl over the head with a golf club.
Yeah.
Y'all liked that? I don't know. I didn't really find it.
I kind of wish there was more Viola Davis in this movie, just because I really like her. But
she's so easy to hate. Yeah, that's what I mean when she's over the top. Is they wanted you to hate her so fucking bad, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Well, that's who that character is. She'll do whatever it takes. Yeah, for...
I don't know.
She has one job or whatever.
It was bad.
She literally killed a whole team just to give them a diversion.
She did, yeah. Those people were criminals. They deserved it. To be fair, what was the comedian's name?
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson, yeah. He was like, he got there and he was like, oh, hey, yeah, I told y'all we were coming, like, just totally betrayed them.
Yeah.
And then they all died, besides Harley and Flag. Like, why would you kill Flag, though? I didn't understand that part. I was like, Flag is, like, your top agent. He literally works for you. He's not part of the... He leads the Suicide Squad. He's not a criminal.
I don't think I picked up that was a diversion until we're talking about it now. I think I just thought that since Pete Davidson sold them out, they just started getting shot. I don't think I realized that was, like, a plan so that the other team could come in through the side.
I think Homegirl, I keep forgetting her name, but she was like
Waller.
She knew, yeah. Well, I think she knew. I think she said she knew.
I wouldn't hold it against her, or I wouldn't put it beyond her. What is that fucking phrase?
I wouldn't hold it against her.
No, that's like if she did something. I wouldn't put it past her. That's it. There you go, boys. I figured it out. But yeah, it's like Maverick's like, yeah, they're bad guys, so it doesn't matter. They jump out, fucking Weasel drowns, and fucking Michael Rooker is like, Weasel's dead, and they're like, oh no, right? Into the movie. Well,
they cut back, and then they're like, no one knew Weasel couldn't swim.
Yeah,
and I'm like, we don't need this.
Yeah.
They do that.
I hated the cuts.
So you would know that's how they missed dude being afraid of rats.
Yeah.
They did
So
it like
that
9 fucking times, and I'm like, stop. 2 is enough.
They did, yeah.
But they kept doing it.
But yeah, so Weasel drowns, right? And they're like, Weasel's dead or whatever, right? Flash to the end of the movie, and Weasel starts, and he gets up and he goes fucking running off and shit, right? And it's like, oh, Weasel's alive. Oh yeah, he killed 26 kids, and now we just unleashed him on this fucking village of people.
It's a fucking. I think it was an island,
It's an
which
island,
is
yeah.
terrifying to me. I was like,
I think he's immortal. I think
Really?
Weasel can't die. Hence the name. Like, he always weasels out of everything.
why did they make him so ugly? Like, I've seen some weasels. They're not.
Because you're
that
not supposed
busted.
to like him. You're not supposed to be like, oh, it's the new
Yeah,
baby
but
Yoda.
like he had like
and then
googly
it
eyes and
kills
shit. And
27
I'm like,
people.
why?
Dude. Yeah.
Looked like they smacked him in the face
Played
with a
by-
shovel like 9 times.
Played by Sean Gunn, by the way, James Gunn's brother. Which he played him, but then he also had to throw in a cameo of himself in the movie. Where he was like, hey, who was he? He was talking to Bloodsport. He's like, hey, Bloodsport, you coming to my daughter's fucking party, dickhead, or whatever? And I was like, oh, you're in the movie twice?
Well, I mean, we haven't even talked about who played King Shark.
Yeah, it's Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Academy Award winning. Probably the biggest name in the movie.
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, shout out.
I didn't even look at the cast, really.
You couldn't tell? Like, he looked just like him.
You're like, oh,
That's fucked
bird.
up.
Adrian. He just kept.
Adrian.
I read book.
Yeah.
Super smart. It's like, fucking idiot, book's upside down. Like,
I did. Yeah, I did like when he's gonna go eat Rat Lady at the beginning, and they have this whole fight, and then the Rat Lady's like, "Would you ever eat your friends?" And Killer Shark looks at them and looks back, and he goes, "No." that was good. That got me. Like I said, there's parts in this movie that are very enjoyable.
It's like I said, like, and I don't. Maybe you might be right. Maybe I just have something against the Harley Quinn because all it's doing is it's selling like a sex symbol to people, right? And now you're gonna have all these like I don't know if I should say half this stuff, but you're gonna have all these like trashy ladies out there wearing new Harley Quinn shirts. Oh, she's just like me, and it's like, no, you're nothing like that, lady. Sorry, but I don't know.
You know
It's
how
like
the
non-positive role model.
the first Suicide Squad had that like strip tease of Homegirl?
Yeah, when she was putting on her outfit or costume, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were congratulating this movie because there wasn't like a sexualization of her in this movie, just like that first.
Yeah.
In the
Even
first
though
one.
she does fuck in this one.
And I was like, what are you talking about? There's a sex scene. You don't see much, but like there's a sex scene of her.
Yeah, you don't see a lot. But
Yeah.
And to be honest, she's pretty covered up in this movie, right?
She
She's not
is.
wearing.
Yeah,
They did a
yeah.
better
I'll give you
job
that,
this
yeah.
time than they did in the last one. So, but like, I don't know. Like, I never felt sorry for her. I never felt anything. Like, there was no emotions.
Yeah, there is that one scene that you're supposed to like when after she kills the guy who proposed to her because he's talking about killing all these kids and shit. And she's like, I told myself if I saw any red flags, I would murder my next boyfriend. And she's like, you might be saying, why don't you just break up with him, Harley? But then they come back and they slash your tires or they kill your dog or, and you're supposed to be like, oh, man. But I was like, well, you're fucking the Joker. I mean, that kind of comes
Joker
with the
never
terror.
killed like a school bus full of kids, though.
Like, Joker's done some
He
bad
might have
shit.
gotten close, but Batman was always there to save
Yeah,
the day.
all right. So let's talk about at this point when a giant Patrick Starr is the main villain of this movie, and he's just walking along
From space.
He was the only person I felt sorry for in this whole movie.
We're gonna get to that. He has the saddest line of the whole movie that we'll get into that later. But so he's walking around, right? And then they decide they're gonna have to save him or whatever. And the whole time I'm like, well, when is Superman just gonna fly out of the frame of the scene and just whoosh, go through him? And then that like the whole ending of the first Suicide Squad movie was Batman with Amanda Waller being like, all right, I'm putting together this team. We don't need your fucking Suicide Squad anymore, And it's like, what? Where were they at the whole time?
Listen, we were in like a third world country.
Oh yeah, Superman doesn't
He
have
doesn't.
time.
Yeah, he doesn't have time for all that.
I don't. Also, we're just not gonna explain where Deadshot and Killer Croc and all them are this movie.
Yeah, I was expecting like the old cast, and we got like two.
Well,
of
I
them.
knew they weren't in it, but I at least expected like Deadshot is out or something like that. But
Let's talk about the red herring in the room or the big elephant or whatever. All these guys have the same fucking power.
yeah,
Deadshot, Idris Elba, John Cena. They all do the same thing.
Even though John Cena was like, I just do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which then, because he's like, I shoot. He had a great line where he's like, I shoot smaller bullets. I go through your bullet holes. Don't even hit the sides. And then at the end of the movie, it ends up being the opposite. And I was like, but I thought you were using the smaller bullets, Cena.
So, like, gun wise, John Cena's using a Desert Eagle, which is the biggest handgun I think they make. They might make.
Was it a Desert Eagle?
Yeah.
I thought it was a revolver.
Eagle. No,
he's doing He's doing one digs on these people.
And he has like a silencer on it, which makes it even fucking huger.
Yeah.
Like, it's the biggest gun possible, just like his helmet, right?
It looked like a sword. It really did.
It was massive, and it probably weighs like 90 pounds.
And
he was one-handing it.
Yeah. I mean,
you see him fucking guns?
They're having like the kill off, and he was like, he shoots him. He was like, "That's pretty fucking lame." He goes, "It wouldn't be lame if it wasn't the coolest fucking lame thing you've seen." He goes, "Fuck, he's right."
Yeah.
And he like walks off. I was like,
well, they had exploding fucking bullets.
Like, I mean, let's talk. Idris Elba had so many little like toys on him.
His whole suit was a weapon.
Yeah,
like he would just pull it off, and
so like they weren't really being realistic.
His mask was cool. It was like a bottom jaw.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the Alien.
It did kind of look alienish.
They really went hard on Alba's suit and stuff.
Yeah, which, speaking of Alien, I mean...
Not so much Cena. Cena just had like a bucket on his head.
I think that's his gimmick, though, right? That's just like, he's supposed to be like kind of lame, but cool. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like Alien, the little starfish, it's just straight up a face hugger. And like, they just go on your face and shit. So, which then I guess, like, I don't know if there's any saving. I think once it's on you, you're dead. Like, even after they kill it, I was thinking it was going to be one of the things where they kill it, and then, like, everyone's free. But no, they're fucking dead. Like, all them people.
Yeah, that thing murked a lot of people.
Did. It got a high body count.
Like, I didn't realize how rated R this movie was until, like, I mean, you get the F-bombs and, like, a scene of, like, some strippers or whatever.
He didn't see the dick.
I didn't see I missed it.
The dick was in that part where they're doing the kill-off, and the guy comes to the window, and he's got his dick out, and
they when they're walking, I think it was they just got to Jotunheim, and they're walking through, and you see all like the dead bodies, or like there's a dude that's just cut in half with a starfish, all the starfish on their face and shit. And they're like, yeah, well, you get the scene of like where they took the starfish off the person's face, and it's just fucked. Yeah. And I'm like, they die when that starfish takes them over. Mm-hmm. So. Anyways. And they said it eats their souls too, and I was like, "That's a little far. Yeah. That's a little far."
Also, this kill off, and me and my dad when we were watching it, I think he said it first. He was like, "So this is the resistance, right?" And I was like, And then they and then they start like killing women and shit, or John Cena does. You don't see, and then they get to the door, and it's just straight up the resistance. And she's like, "Why didn't my people warn me?" John Cena's like, I didn't see any people.
I thought that was hilarious.
Like I said, this movie did a lot of cool stuff, but I'm happy it did.
By the way, there is a part where they both shoot guys, right? And then they walk 5 feet, and like another guy turns around and is like, "Oh!" and is like surprised that they're there. And I was like, "You just heard?" And so then they kill him, okay? And I'm like, "All right, well now they're gonna start coming." Literally 2 guys in front of them didn't hear it, but this guy that they just killed before was like, like got killed. So those resistant members weren't very good.
They had their earbuds in.
Yeah. Also,
their AirPods.
How did Flag get taken by a different group than Harley?
Well, he was running through
he was running through the woods.
Yeah.
The Resistance found him.
I guess, but yeah. Also, yeah, R.I.P. Flag. We later, it turns out this whole
Right. That was
mission
so fucked.
is basically just to destroy evidence that America had
The
anything to
government.
do with this whole experiment and shit. And I think Flag at first is like, I'm gonna send it to fucking the press or whatever he said, and then John Cena's like, I can't let you do that, Captain. And he's like, what? And him and John Cena have this boss ass fight. They do a cool thing at the front where it's you see them fighting through John Cena's helmet that's on the ground, and like you're thinking that as a normal movie, John Cena's just gonna get killed or something, but then he just takes like a piece of the broken bathtub or something, just shoves it in his heart, and they do like an X-ray. Like in Sniper Elite, when you would shoot a guy in the face, and it just shows it going into his heart and shit.
Well, that he fucking stabs him with it, and then he hits it again, and it goes even deeper, and it does the X-ray of where it goes in his heart, and I went, holy shit! Yeah. I love that. That fight scene is why this movie got a 3.
Which John Cena is fucking. So his character's name is Peacemaker. And this whole thing is just about peace. And he says it he's like, I don't care how many women, men, or children I gotta kill to get it, And so weirdly, the guy that's all about peace is probably the only, like, true through and through villain in this whole movie.
Hold on. I wouldn't say he's a villain.
Yeah.
Like, think of, okay,
well, it's almost like...
frame it to make him look like the villain, but put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah.
And you have a job. And it's your only way of getting redemption. I would have taken that and broke that thing in half and killed everybody too. Like, I wouldn't have. Now, when he's going to kill the rat girl, that's kind of being a villain, right? Because he was like,
I'm thorough. Yeah. Well, at that point, which I thought was a weird decision, seeing as how they're making a TV show about him. Which, unfortunately, I told my dad that. And then we waited till the end of the credits, and they were like, we're surprised he's still alive. And I went, well, I've just fucking ruined it. It's going to be John Cena, because I just told you they were making a show. And then sure enough, John Cena's still alive. He gets shot through the neck by Idris Elba.
Does.
Him and Idris Elba have a shootout. But
he's like, how? And that's when you get the little bullet
Smaller bullets. But,
I loved, like, the Wild West standoff, too. It was great.
Yeah. See, you know what's crazy? Thomas will know this, but most Maverick, you won't know. But in The Gunslinger, he was a better gunslinger in this movie than he was in the other one.
Yeah.
The Dark Tower or whatever.
Yeah.
You think? Nah, he was shooting motherfuckers through walls and shit in Dark Tower.
Man, it's been so... That movie, by the way, not as bad as people said when it came out. It didn't follow anything about the book.
Yeah.
But
yeah, people who read the books, I don't think like that movie.
No.
But I've never read the books, so...
It was fine.
So Idris Elba's, he's in that movie. He's okay in it.
I love Idris Elba, man.
He's okay in that. That's not his best performance.
Am I wrong in saying that he was amazing in this movie? Kind of shitting all the Thors, though? Like,
he's just sort of...
remember he was in Thor.
I mean, I remember, but
yeah,
he's
I
just...
don't remember him being in
Yeah,
Thor.
he's in it up until... I think he's even on the ship when Thanos gets there.
Yeah, he's in Avengers.
Endgame.
Like, yeah.
Was he the gatekeeper?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I do remember him.
Yeah, he just plays such a small role.
They gave him contacts, and his, like,
they do
he
give
had, like, hazel
contacts.
eyes, and I was like, oh, shit.
I mean, he's the only black guy in Ragnarok, whatever, though, right? Like, I don't know how you would have missed him.
But
in Valhalla or whatever they are.
Yeah, but in this, he really...
well, he has the bigger role, too, right? In this,
you know, fair play to the girl playing his daughter. Like, I don't know how much acting experience she's had before this, but to go in and share a scene with Idris Elba in the beginning of the movie that's like a 3-minute long, like, dramatic where they're like yelling at and they're fuck you, you know. I thought she did a really good job too in that scene.
She killed it.
And I imagine it had to be intimidating.
I swear I've seen her in something else too.
She did look kind of familiar when at the end of the movie when she's like, "That's my dad," because they're on TV saving the thing.
Yeah,
she looked familiar there, but I couldn't spot her what I knew her from. But I was gonna say because I said how John Cena was the bad guy, but if you take a look back 10 years or so ago, well, even longer than that because the comic existed before that, but a little movie or comic known as Watchmen. I mean, the whole ending of that movie was that one dude, blowing up New York or whatever, and saying it was a fucking alien, up there. And so then everyone had to stop to coexist because they were like, well, we got aliens up there. And Dr. Manhattan was just going to let it, they were like, we're going to do it. It's world peace. And Rorschach was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And he's like, do it! Fucking,
yeah,
and they blew him up. So it's
alert.
kind of, sorry for anyone who hasn't watched Watchmen.
The comic came out like 40 years ago.
It came out, forever ago.
The movie's been out for a minute.
Been out for a minute. Yeah, it's not
Even
like
the
that.
show's been out.
Yeah, the show's been out for a while. Like,
I think the guy's name's Archimandos or something, or Archimandas.
It's a big brain name because he's a big brain guy, But anyway, while we have this little break, the budget of this movie was $185 million. So far at the box office, it has only brought in $72 million, which I think has to do with the fact that you could also just watch it on HBO Max, and they're saying it's because of the Delta variant. People are starting to get a little bit afraid. But I'm sure it'll make its money back in time. But it's not having the hottest opening weekend.
Like, there's going to a theater, there's it's like an event, right?
Uh-huh.
You go out, you get something to eat, you go to the theater. It's like, it's nice. Be honest, though, I like watching these things at home, dude. Like, It's so much better. Like,
I see it in both. The theater, I really feel like you get engrossed more. Like, there's no distractions. It's just this big-ass screen with a movie. And that, to be fair, I haven't...
That's not true. How are you going to say there's no distractions? Motherfuckers getting up to piss every 2 seconds.
Well, because usually the movies I go to are empty. Yeah.
But, like...
Because I spray them out, you can't say.
God damn.
You're banned from every movie theater in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, like, you have a 70-inch TV, and as close as you're sitting at it, it's probably as big as that screen. Right?
Yeah.
Plus, like, if you've ever had to take a shit during a movie, you'll realize that watching these things at home are so what you just pause it and go go make a hot pocket, like anything, right? Like
theaters, most of the time the only things I go see now are superhero movies because it's sort of like a family thing where we just go see the superhero movies when they come out. See the superhero movies. Me and Maverick went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Tarantino movie when that came out. But besides that, I'm going to go see Jackass in the theaters when it comes out because that's the best way to watch it. And then I'm going to go watch Halloween in the theaters. But I don't really go, there's a select few that every now and then I'll be like, I'm going to go to the theater and watch that. But
I don't, I could see watching like a funny movie, a comedy in theaters and everyone's laughing and it's like a whole mood. Like any other movie though.
Yeah.
It's better to watch by yourself.
Weirdly, like a comedy, and I'm gonna run into that problem in Jackass because some of my favorite things in Jackass or comedies in general are like little lines that are thrown in there that aren't the big joke, but those are what stick out to me, and I'm like, that was fucking funny, And I feel like when you go to comedy, sometimes people laugh at the big joke so much that you miss the little joke you would really like if you were at home.
Yeah, you would need like subtitles turned on because...
Stop it.
Motherfuckers be loud.
Ben was trying to dig a hole through my bed. I had to push him over and let him know what's up. But also, another part in this movie that...
Ben, you're gay lover.
Another part in this movie that I thought was sweet was the ending when the lady's holding up and all the rats are attacking and you get that one little scene of her and her dad like on top of that fucking tower. I thought it was the Eiffel Tower for a second, but I don't think it was. Also played by Tiki Watiti. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. I think I might have got close on that. But director of Thor Ragnarok plays Korg, the rock guy. My name's Korg.
He makes good movies.
He made Jojo Rabbit. He was Hitler in Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
A lot of people really liked it. I could have took it or leave it. To be fair, I did get like a main thing spoiled for me, so that kind of sucks. There's some moments in it though. But yeah, what haven't we talked about yet in this one?
Everything.
Yeah.
We've
How they
sort of like
killed,
scattershot the movie.
Well, I guess all right. So let's just breeze through. Michael Rooker, like I mentioned, he's in it. What was his character name?
Ricochet.
Okay, yeah, and he's
Or something like that.
like for the first 15 minutes of the movie, he's set up as like the main character. But I think
they keep focusing on his hair the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
yeah, but I think obviously watching it, it's so obvious that he's the main character that you can tell the switch is coming. But yeah, and so they all jump out of this plane, and you get Michael Rooker playing Ricochet, I guess his name.
I don't remember.
You
his name,
get Nathan Fillion, who I saw his name in the credits, and I didn't realize it was him until he was laying on the beach dead and his mask was off, who was playing TDK, that they keep asking him what his name stands for, and then we talked about it. His name's the Detachable Kid, and it leads into a joke. You get another famous comic playing that dude in the suit, the French dude or whatever, or Russian, I think he might have been, with the javelin, who gives Harley a javelin. Pete Davidson playing another guy with guns, like, and then Weasel and Boomerang, and all those people die in the first. And that Amazonian lady, yeah. Who it looked like Starfire for a second, but
I'm glad they didn't like introduce us to those starting characters
just
because they
kill
instantly killed them off because it would have been like such a time waste.
Yeah,
but I also don't like just characters dying just like for the fun of it. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, I don't know them, so it doesn't like.
Well, that's if you knew
but
them, then it would become a sad thing, right? But since you didn't, it's supposed to be a joke.
Just to introduce the movie off with like a bunch of the people dying was just a waste of time.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
it was in your face. Yeah, they're
as soon as they jumped out. Yeah, like I said, I was like, all right, so everyone but Boomerang and Harley are gonna live. They surprised me. They killed Boomerang.
To hide it. Zero attempt to hide that shit.
Which yeah,
I really like the place cards and everything in this movie too.
There was
the way they did scene changes and stuff. I dig it.
There was one that was like it was a joke, like how they did it. I can't remember.
Well, there was one where it was like going to whatever, the Jutenheim or whatever, and then they're like, "Wait, Harley's here," and then it goes out, and the smoke of the fire says, going to, what's her name?
There was one really cool shot before they go into the city of Idris Elba getting out of the van, and he's talking to him. I bet, like, if you watch behind the scenes, they just filmed it on a soundstage, but like the whole back, it's supposed to just be real sunny out or whatever, but it's just like white, and it's just him like walking in the white.
That's the rain, it starts raining.
Yeah, it starts raining.
It's raining, and he was like, good cover, and then he like walks out, and he just vanishes.
Yeah.
And then it shows him. This movie did a lot of things right. Like I said, I don't understand why you guys hate on it so much.
It's not good, but it's got some good moments.
When the shark wanted a fake mustache, and he was like,
that was funny.
Big guy, you want a fake mustache? Because I would have thought, hey, a killer shark sneaking up on me with a fake mustache.
I was like, fuck! Yeah.
It was so good. Like, oh, man, I really like this movie.
I'm surprised.
Amazing.
Soundtrack is pretty good.
Hey, play in there, who I love, and I always link you all her songs, and you guys go, this is shit.
I could have done without that one. But it starts off Folsom Prison Blues, which is kind of an on-the-nose song, but I'm always down for some Folsom Prison Blues. It's got that Pixies song in there. Hey! Yeah, which Pixies is one of those bands that every time I hear more songs from them, I'm like, this is all great. What's the Doolittle, I think, is that album? That's like the album, I think, that has like fucking.
Yeah, if you listen to the Pixies soundtrack, like all their songs and records or whatever, there's a lot of shit on there.
No.
But there are like I linked in the same as like the Talking Heads, right? where you'll find like amazing shit, but then 3 of those tracks on there, you're gonna be like, I gotta skip this song because my mom's in the car, like,
they have that other song by that fucking punk band I really like, which is the all those people who died, all the people who died. I like that song.
I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, I was jamming out. I downloaded this.
I think that was
that
was the intro. After all of them are laying there on the beach dead, I think that song is playing over the intro.
And there's another one. I forgot what it was. Another punk group who sings something else.
Yeah,
and it's really good. And then you have Harley Quinn singing, whatever.
I'm so lonely.
Not that one. The other one. Where she's tied up and she's getting like shocked.
I thought that was what. I don't know.
No,
you think Tarantino was at the theater like, oh yeah, feet when she's doing the toe thing?
To be honest with you, they did do a lot of foot close-ups.
There was a lot of foot close-ups in this movie.
I feel like they were doing something.
I don't know. And they were doing kind of the Tarantino, like how all his movies are sort of different time jumps to places. They were doing that. Did you think when Idris Elba keeps falling through all the floors and it flashes down to John Cena pointing the gun at her, did you think he was going to land on her? Yeah. I thought that's where it was going. I didn't think they were going to do the standoff.
Honestly, like that entrance was cool as shit. Because just lands and he's sitting there like waiting and he like looks and he's like,
Yeah, and then he sees what's going on and it's like, and him and Rat Girl had made this connection through the movie, and he was like, I'm going to keep, he reminds her of his daughter, and he's like, I'm going to keep you alive,
Yeah, it's not like a sexual connection.
No.
Like dad and daughter connection or whatever.
That's a complaint I have about this movie, is I feel like, I know Harley is like, not really connected to people all that much, but I feel like she should have been more upset by Flag getting killed. Because, I mean, she's hugging on them and stuff when they're doing all that, and then, like, he's dead, and she just never really says anything about it. I think she might say he was my friend. By the way, keep talking. I'm going to take a phone call.
I'm going to tell y'all, I think there's a hidden part of this movie that they didn't go about, and I think, so when they introduce the starfish, they say that they take over a person's conscience, right?
Something like that.
And I'm sure they had a point in this where that starfish was supposed to get on Harley, and Harley's whole thing is she's crazy. She doesn't have a conscience, right? She just doesn't care. So, like, I think they were going to lead that into something, and then they just never did. So
really? I never got that vibe.
Well, they wouldn't have told you that if they weren't going to use it later, right? Like, because it's shit you didn't need to know, right? Like,
they made it pretty obvious that once the starfish jumps on your face, it's over, you're dead.
Yeah.
Well, they say it controls you because it takes over your conscience, but Harley's saying she doesn't have one, so it wouldn't have worked on her. But they didn't use that in the movie, and like I said,
well, that's the mental view from that, but the physical, like you saw the dude
like rips his face off.
Yeah, it literally rips their.
Oh man, but then she
could
have done. Then in Suicide Squad 3, they could have done the cool Joker thing where he like stapled his face back on and shit.
He did that shit in the show. Too,
I don't think he's done it in a movie yet. Maybe an animated movie, but I don't think he's done it in live action. I feel like I would have remembered that. but anyway. All right, so yeah, let's talk about the starfish has the most heartbreaking line in this whole movie, which is he can talk through the people he's controlling. And so after they kill him, he gets a fucked up death where all the rats crawl into him. They start chewing into the like things connecting his eye, and you see him up there and blood sloshing around in his eye and shit, right? And so the general dude who's been taken over by the starfish, he looks at Idris Elba and he goes, "I was happy just floating in space looking at the stars." Yeah, and he fucking, and I sat, and it like punched me in the chest. I was like, oh, like I wasn't expecting, like it was like it was sad as fuck. It was like a King Kong situation where they just brought this motherfucker from his habitat or his natural place, and that's a sad ass line that he talked about.
It got me.
Yeah, and it's just hanging out. and then some fucking American assholes up there drag him into his spaceship.
They were taking like selfies with it, like
Yeah.
throwing up peace signs and shit. And I was
for
like,
the-
okay,
for the
you
next-
just kidnapped this fucker from space.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
30 years, this guy's just getting experimented on by this motherfucker with screws hanging out of his head.
Yeah,
Can we talk about probably the worst character in this movie? And that's
Thinker?
the Thinker.
It's
Yeah.
pretty, yeah.
he's pretty bad. Not very smart for a fucking. Smart
Not
guy.
very smart, yeah. Like, I think the Riddler is more smart than the Thinker. Like,
More smart, baby.
more smarter. But yeah, he's a bad, like, I would say villain, but he's never really poses any
He
danger.
does nothing.
Yeah.
He has no point to be in this movie.
He
They
tells
could've-
him what's going on, and then that's it.
It's just like I said. I'm like, but I mean, he's not really a villain, right? They didn't want to overshadow who the real,
I mean, if you want to know how bad the first Suicide Squad movie was, this movie's villain is a starfish from space, and it is a better villain than a fucking witch, like sitting there jiggling her hips and shit.
I love that lady. All right, that little dance walk thing.
I kept wondering.
Amazing.
I kept trying to think because I remember they somehow they beat her at the end, and then I couldn't remember if the lady died because that was the lady the Flag was going to marry, and so he was in love. That was the whole thing was he
Got
had
her
to
back,
save
I
her.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
then
got her
where
back.
the fuck was she in this movie? Like they just don't. They never mention her. Like
I'm gonna be honest.
it almost
Like,
seems like a
matter.
reboot, but it's not.
I've never been a big fan of Flag.
Well, I
Like,
haven't
at
either,
all.
but
Yeah.
plot holes. I want them. So
I mean, she killed a lot of people.
yeah,
Wasn't she a member of Suicide Squad though?
no, she was an archaeologist.
Well,
That
no,
just-
because they had her necklace and they were controlling her, making her do shit. Remember?
Well, I think she was like the original or something
Yeah.
where they would make her do shit, and then she like broke out. And so
Yeah. So she's still in jail then, probably, right? Throw her-
yeah, but it was like a real whoop. So the witch was the one doing all the stuff, but I don't know. I didn't care for Flag's character, but I just want some answers here, you know?
I was sadder when Milton died than I was when Flag died.
God, yeah.
He got lit the fuck up.
Oh, Milton, the polka dot dude has a funny line where it's at that part where John Cena's like, I didn't see any people or whatever, and they all just start talking, making up excuses, and finally polka dot guy is like, I turned them into my mom in my head and killed them. And it was like, ooh. But
Polka Dot Guy is low key the best guy in the movie. Like,
yeah, I like the first shot where all of them were the moms. I could have
Yeah.
done without the shot of Big Mama being the
Yeah.
starfish. Which, yeah.
I didn't like that whole thing.
Coco
Like, yeah, you got
style.
mommy trauma. Shut the fuck up about it.
But goddamn, your crooked ass nose.
is that the Weasel?
That's Weasel.
Weasel making a surprise appearance?
But yeah, Milton dies and fucking polka dot dude is like
Rush.
legit sad about it. Shut up. Polka dot dude is like, he's been with us the whole time. And they're like, I think I would have known if a Milton was with us the whole time. And yeah, he's like, there's a real moment where he's like, come on, this guy tried to help us, you know, and he's dead. Which, man, it was a shame because he blasts the polka dots at the guy, at the starfish, and it like gets rid of one of his legs. And then he's like, I'm a superhero. And I was like, all right, this guy's dead. He's going to get crushed. And then immediately he gets crushed. And once again, Suicide Squad 1, Diablo or whatever, was like their strongest guy. And he gets taken out. It's a shame that this guy because he was, those polka dots were fucking people up.
It was kind of OP.
Diablo died.
It was OP. Yeah, he like blows up.
Yeah, he goes like full nuclear or whatever, and then takes on like the king guy or whatever his name is. I don't remember his name. It was the chick's brother, right? Like,
Go out the door. There, she's going.
would you say your dog was adorable?
But anyway, yeah, the polka dot. What else was I gonna say about that guy? There was something else.
He had the worst effects. We had all the shit in his face and stuff.
Yeah.
I loved it. his vomiting scene, I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, he reminded me of for anybody watching this that knows this episode of South Park, when they have their Coon and Friends is the name of the group or whatever, and they have the one that's Mint Berry Crunch. And he's just Mint Berry Crunch, and he just shoots the fucking Mint Berry Crunch, and then he ends up being the only one with like real superpowers. And Kenny's like, I fucking die every day, and no one knows, and then I come back to life, and they're like, shut up, Kenny, you don't know what you're talking about. But he reminded me of Mint Berry Crunch so much. He looked like he had the exact same powers. Mint Berry Crunch, shout out, he defeats Cthulhu. So.
Isn't that Fractured But Whole?
No, that's like... Yeah, Fractured But Whole is the game where there's superheroes, yeah. But that's like actual episodes with this guy. But anyway. Alright, let's do best of, worst of.
Well, I got a question first.
Okay, go ahead.
I need y'all's opinion. I couldn't decide.
Alright.
And I was staring for a minute.
Which Spice Girl you want to impregnate?
Do we know if John Cena stuffed his undies, his white
for his giant cock in the
I was like, Jesus, John, calm down.
I was like, God damn.
Everyone's seeing you right now. Like, none of this, I'm doing the hands, but I forgot.
You can't see.
I have my camera on, so you literally can't see me.
Yeah.
But I was just like, Jesus. I was like, you can put on some pants.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I was like,
Cena.
keep them off, John. Keep them off.
But I don't know. Y'all think that's legit, or you think he had a little?
I don't know. I mean, I like to believe.
Out here, John Cena is probably my favorite comedy guy who's not a comedy guy. That fucking movie, Over 40, or when they're like the parents and they're like trying with their kids,
blockers or whatever.
Yeah, he was hilarious in that fucking movie.
I never watched that.
I never watched that one. I did see the parts of him in that Amy Schumer movie where he was going on dates with her.
Oh, I didn't.
And he was very funny in those scenes. That's the same movie where Bill Hader is best friends with LeBron James, who plays himself. And LeBron James is always like, "So you're gonna pick up the tab, right?" And Bill Hader's like, "You're LeBron James." Yeah.
It's like I said, John Cena's great. I mean, I'm glad they're giving him his own show. He has this deadpan way of like delivering lines and stuff. So I guess he's not great. The writers do well for writing.
Well, the writers can only write. It all depends on who can make it work.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it really is though. It's a really good performance. It's up there with like we've talked wrestler performances. They can go either way. So it's up there in wrestler performances of movies.
Do you think he's better than The Rock as an actor?
The only movie I can think Rock actor-wise is Walking Tall. Like, Walking Tall, I think The Rock is really good. You know what?
What about the Fast and Furious?
Fuck those. Rock in that Pain and Gain movie with Marky Mark. That movie, no one watched it. That movie's really good. Monk's in it. Fucking someone else is in it too, but that movie's really good and no one watched it.
Pain and Gain was pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I never watched it.
It's good.
Wahlberg put on fucking mass for that movie.
He did. They both got swole as fuck.
It's all steroids.
Hey,
No steroids.
that's all right. I don't care as long as you look good.
Yeah, I mean, these are professional like actors, right?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't yell at someone for, putting on a prosthetic nose, right? So if they're going to use,
Yeah. He's like, it's my nose. Stop it.
I mean, Mark Wahlberg used a prosthetic for Boogie Nights as well.
He didn't.
So
it was him.
It's very well noted that it was a prosthetic. So,
no, man.
I mean, if you get mad at the steroids and not the fake cock, then you got problems.
Yeah. But anyway. All right, best of, worst of.
Best of, worst of.
My best of, I already said it. It has to be the detachable kid joke with him.
Yeah, he like poked him in the eye.
Yeah.
Pulling his hat down and stuff. Yeah, so good.
That was pretty good. Worst of,
see,
I don't know. I'll just say the first fucking 15 minutes when they're doing the whole bit on the helicopter with the werewolf and shit. It didn't click for me. So, Maverick got best of, worst of.
There was a lot of worst of. Worst though was the fucking everyone dying on the beach as a distraction. I didn't give a fuck about them. Um, best of.
Again, I don't know why you don't like that. It was like a decent part of the movie.
Hey,
Oh,
real
I can't
fast,
really think of a
before
best
you
of.
do best of, oh, well, he's not. Okay. So you get to see Michael Rooker's head blow up by the bomb in this thing. I remember that Slipknot in the first one, the guy who could climb any surface. What a fucking dumb villain. But I remember they blow his head up, but I don't remember how much of that you see. But I remember they kill him like that in that one too. So I know it definitely wasn't as graphic as this one was, but I can't
I think
remember
it
how.
showed it. I think he went zinging off, and they just click the button or whatever.
Yeah. Shout out to
So.
Slipknot. Anyway, Tyler, you got best of, worst of?
I mean, I want to say worst of is the whole. So, it's like an ideal or a concept. So Harley Quinn gets this javelin from the fucking guy whose name is Javelin,
Yes.
and she has it, and she goes to the high ground. And I don't know if y'all know, but javelins are made for fucking throwing.
No.
That's why they call it javelin. She used this thing like a spear the whole fucking
Yeah,
time.
she does.
And had to
Yeah.
sacrifice herself to stab the eye of. No, just throw the fucking thing. God damn! Like I was so mad at this, but
It caught me off guard when she went through it and like into the water or whatever, which wasn't water. It was like whatever that liquid is in your eye. But
And I was like, why? You just did this so you could have the scene of her floating in there,
Yeah.
and be like, ooh, you get the fuck out.
uh,
The best part of this movie is John Cena wearing that medium-sized shirt when he is obviously a 2XL boy.
Yeah.
But he's like standing there dancing and stuff. His like belly's out and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just laughed the whole time.
Yeah.
Every time I saw him in a little shirt, and he was like, "Hey, act normal," and he's like, "All right."
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
once again, by the way, with Harley Quinn in this movie. So in the first one, every trailer, like I said, we're bad guys. It's what we do, and that line is terrible, right? This movie, there's the part where she's taken captive and she ends up getting out or whatever, and they're coming to save her. And every trailer, I mean, it's ruined in the trailers if you watch them, because there's the scene of him being like, "We're coming to break you out," and she was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah, it was a really good plan too." When she does the, well, I can go back inside and you can still do it or whatever, I think that was a pretty good little jokey joke scene. That I could go back inside and do it. Like I said, I think Harley is 10 times better in this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Her story, I could, which should be, I read a thing where apparently Margot Robbie herself was like, Harley's, you don't need Harley to be like a sinner character. Like Harley's good with, with bits and pieces and stuff.
Forgetting the 10-minute scene where she's standing in a hallway, spinning, shooting people? All these guys have guns. Yeah. Any of them could have just shot her. But no, they're going to run into the circle first so she could shoot them.
Well, yeah, man, it's a movie. That's how you have to do it.
The whole thing was just dumb.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they do that even later in the movie with other characters where they just have them shooting around. The dumbest part was the fucking wall of metal armor that they lock themselves in with. And the best that these dumb fucks can come up with is like, get the Humvee. They just start ramming into this metal.
They said the battering ram or whatever.
Yeah, but then they couldn't find it, so they just got the Humvee.
Yeah.
And they keep on going, go again, and the guy in Humvee, my neck hurts. And he just...
The whole exchange between the killer shark, and John Cena, when he makes the little C4, he's like, yeah, I get it. It's supposed to be me. Mm-hmm. Just put it on the wall. Doesn't look anything like me. And it's like an adorable little kid.
Yeah.
I was like, this is good shit. I loved this movie. I liked it a lot. I'm really surprised y'all didn't like it.
Didn't work for me.
Y'all are just haters.
I'm not. Martin Scorsese probably could have made a better movie, James Gunn.
I wonder if this is like the kind of movie that he would like, though.
I don't think so. I don't think he watches them, honestly. Like Scorsese, even though he talked that shit about Marvel and was like, there's circus movies, which I'm not going to fight him on. Like, I'm not going to,
They are. They're just spectacle, right?
Yeah, they're a spectacle. Like, yeah. But at the same time, I don't really think he's paid that much attention to him. Like, I don't think he's watched them to judge them enough, I think he just knows what they are. And he's like, maybe he watched Iron Man when it came out because it was new or something. But and maybe this is, I just don't know Martin Scorsese. Maybe he's watching fucking everything. But I doubt he's like watching all these movies to where he can judge. I think he watched Joker. I think he really liked Joker, which makes sense because Joker is a very fucking,
it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. But I don't know. We need to do a smoke break one day where.
What would you do if Joaquin Phoenix popped up at the end of this movie?
I don't. Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. I know they're planning on making a Joker 2, which I hate though, because that first one's so good, and it's like, why mess with it? But
what if this is just him versus Batman though? Like,
yeah. Well, the thing is though, is Batman's like a little fucking kid in Joker, so it's like he would have to age at least. I would say 18 is when Batman first starts out.
Well, he starts out at 11, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's when then he goes and trains with Ra's al Ghul or whatever for however long.
So if you think about it, Joker just killed a guy on TV, right?
He did.
So it's very easy.
De Niro.
It's very easy to put him away in jail for 15 years.
No, it wouldn't be him versus Batman. There's no way they'd time jump that far. It'd be him versus the commissioner, right?
I don't know. Was Commissioner Gordon in Joker? I don't remember.
Well, he doesn't have to be in the first one.
He doesn't have. I mean, because Commissioner Gordon was around at that point. I think he was just a regular run-of-the-mill cop at that point. Now,
like Batman brings all the weirdos out, right? Like that's like they don't talk about that in the movie.
Yeah,
the Joker movie, because like he becomes a Joker without Batman.
Yeah,
but like Batman, the Bat is why the Joker sticks around so long.
Yeah, that's why it's so like, because I think there's parts in comics and in movies where Batman and especially video games, the last Arkham City game, it's like all about that, which is just how like, is he causing more trouble than he is good? Because he's making all these weirdos come out and fucking, try to up the Bat, kill the Bat and stuff. And so it's this internal fight that he has where it's like, am I doing any good at all? Because he's not killing these fucks. He's just putting them in jail and they get right back out, And different stories have had Batman killing Joker, or Joker kills himself at one point. But it's still Batman's fault, kind of. So,
on a different note, I watched Superman Red Sun recently, and it was fucking fantastic. I loved it.
Well, all right. Well, shout out to that. Did either of you watch The Invincible, the superhero anime that Prime made?
Yeah, it's amazing. We both did. We've been telling you to watch it for fucking months.
Yeah. Well, so Maverick was talking about how he didn't want to he would be upset if he got to know these people and then they got killed. So how do you feel when you got to know like all the spoiler for Invincible, when you got to know like all the fake Justice League characters and then J.K. Simmons?
Well, I'm gonna spoil it for you. That happens in the first fucking episode.
I know it does, but that first episode, that first episode is all about like their relationships with people and shit.
Not really. You don't know shit about those people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you see them and see their powers, and then it's mostly about Mark the Kid.
Yeah, but fucking the Speedy dude's like hanging out with that girl and shit.
It's literally like, I can't even tell you any of their names. The Immortal Man. That's the only one I know, and that's because, spoiler, he comes back. Like,
shocking.
He's immortal. Like, that's the only one I know. But like, like, I don't know. I don't like. That's why I don't.
No.
I didn't mind those people dying at the beginning. I didn't see it happening. I thought they were gonna have to send people to rescue them, so I knew it wasn't gonna go well.
Yeah.
But I didn't foresee them.
Yeah. No, I'm
shooting his arms.
Yeah, I'm with Maverick where I didn't like it, but I saw it coming. Like it was so obvious to me that when it started happening, I was like, yeah, well, I knew this was.
Yeah, because like it's like Idris Elba's not even there.
Yeah,
like, you knew the cast ahead of time. Maybe if you knew nothing, like if you didn't watch the trailer and
stuff.
Well,
I don't know how I assumed they were gonna get there. I just assumed they were. I don't know, but anyway, like I was saying, I want to do a smoke break one time where we just go and we list like our own personal lists of all the Marvel movies leading up to Endgame, because they've made a couple after that. Well, I guess we could throw Black Widow on there, but I kind of just want to. Yeah, I watched Black Widow. Okay. I kind of just want to do up until Endgame and do like because I've seen them all except for Ant-Man 2. I didn't watch Ant-Man 2.
How dare you?
And I honestly don't think I ever watched the original Captain America. Like
How dare you?
I watched Winter Soldier and Civil War and stuff. I don't think I ever watched the original one.
Man, the first Captain America, it's kind of horrible.
That's what I hear. It's bad.
The first hour's great, and then he's like, once he's Captain America, you just have to watch a bunch of like World War II propaganda shit or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't want to watch this.
But yeah, I've seen
Thor 2. That's the only
I've seen Thor 2. Yeah, that's the one that's supposed to be the worst movie they ever made. Which, yeah, I think that'd be interesting, seeing where, like, to be fair, Maverick isn't going to remember fucking, like, half of these movies. He's going to be Iron Man 2, that's the one with Iron Man, right? We're like, yeah, yeah, man. But I think that'd be an interesting thing if we made a list and we just sort of went through them. But
I don't know. I mean, you can probably tell everybody what your favorite is right now, though. You know what your favorite is, right? Yeah, it has to be Endgame, right? Or
no, it wouldn't be one of those.
First Avengers.
No, I don't know what it would be.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. No, I don't know. Don't know. I'd have to look at them for a while. But anyway, all right. Well, I think that's the break's about to wrap up here for the Suicide Squad.
So what did you give this movie?
A 4.
Mav, what did you give this movie?
3.
And I gave it a 7.
There you go.
I still think y'all are dummies, and it's a much better movie than that. I don't know. I don't know why I thought it was a 7, and y'all. I would like when I watched it. That's why we did this. Is because I was like, I want to see what you guys think about it, because I really, really enjoyed it, and I remember just shitting all over the first one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why y'all got so low and I went high.
Hey.
I wonder.
Anyway.
Hey.
All right. Well,
what's
let's
the next
see.
So going to be?
I don't know. I had the Marvel idea, but
I know what it's going to be.
All right.
There's going to be a lot of homework for you fuckbags.
What?
I wanted to be Dune.
Oh.
The original Dune.
I think it's going to be good.
I watched it when I was like 11, and like my mom loves that movie, and it's amazing. Yeah. It's an amazing movie, and this new one looks just as good, if not better. It's almost like the Blade Runner. Yeah, I know. Don't get me started. He's in the Blade Runner too.
He's in Blade Runner too. Yeah.
I don't know if y'all watch the old Blade Runner versus the new Blade Runner, but
I watch old Blade Runner. I didn't watch a new one.
Should we watch both Dunes if we're gonna watch the?
I mean, I would want you to, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the original Dune is like 4 hours long.
Oh, fuck that.
Funny enough, I was gonna say, like I said how I want to do a smoke break on Seven Samurai, and I looked at it and it was like a 3.5 hours, and I was like, when Maverick was talking about the standoff thing, all I could think about is one of the greatest scenes in cinema history, which is just 7 minutes of 3 guys standing in a circle staring at each other while fucking dramatic music plays and the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I wanted to do a good, the bad, and the ugly smoke break. But to be fair, once again, I think that movie's like 3.5 hours long or something. It's a long.
Good, Bad, and Ugly is like one of the best movies ever made.
It's amazing.
So
like Dune I said, if you can make a 7-minute scene of 3 guys staring at each other, and I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen?
like the music's so good. I
the music,
the guy's name is
Benicio del Toro, and that's Benicio Mortacata. I don't know. He's the same guy. He made the music in Hateful Eight, and he won an Oscar for it. And Quentin Tarantino talks about that, like his biggest accomplishment in cinema is being able to give that guy an Oscar, or make a movie that got that guy. Because forever people were like, why hasn't this guy won an Oscar? That means I have it liked on Spotify. It'll come on in the songs while I'm driving sometimes.
The Glitter for Gold or
the Ecstasy of Gold will come on, and then the showdown at the end will come on.
So 1984 Dune. is 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah, but I guess little me, like it felt like forever.
But yeah, I imagine it probably would. That when we watched Cabin in the Woods, I was gonna mention how like Cabin in the Woods was like an hour 40 or whatever. A testament to how good I thought that movie was. It flew by. Like the movie was almost over, and I was like, "It's almost over." The movie was really good, but also after it was your pick, I realized that Graveyard Shift is gonna come out on Friday the 13th, and I was like, "Fuck." I was like, we should have picked a Friday the 13th, which we probably would have done the reboot one, just because that's the best of both worlds. It's like, it's got the original story, but it's Jason killing people. You don't have to sit through Pamela fucking, doing shit. Yeah. But it's a shame. So when this comes out, this will come out on Monday. Friday is Perfect Blue, which is the anime thriller mystery horror that I picked, so look forward to that one. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know how it was.
we gotta watch Old Dune, New Dune. New Dune's not even out yet, so we have
New Dune ain't even out. Yeah.
And then there's a book, and the book.
Fuck off.
The book is supposed to be amazing, though. I think you'll love it, Tom.
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to. I mean, let's be honest. We all know Mav ain't. Dude don't even know how to read. So like
read.
But like the book's like it's
last time I ever used a book was just to carve out the inside.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it was written by like some guy named Frank Herbert. But anyway, I haven't ever read it. I've heard.
Shout out Herb Dean.
I don't remember.
Herb Dean wrote Dune.
But yeah, so I mean that doesn't have to be the next one because it's obviously
got a while.
Not out yet. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Smoke Break will come along every now and again. We like to surprise you. Like I said, Friday, Perfect Blue podcast. Check that out. And yeah.
Do we want to do a Jason movie since we're recording? Well, we won't record. Never mind. I was like, we're going to be recording this on Friday the 13th, but I was like, we won't.
No. No, I think it's past. I think it's like, well, we'll just.
We missed it. Well,
yeah.
There'll be more.
I'm hoping, because they keep going through legal battles, I'm kind of hoping, like, supposedly, take this, Corey Feldman said that the legal battles were almost over, which who knows what the fuck Corey Feldman's talking about nowadays.
Is he in one of those?
Yeah. He kills Jason. He's the only one who kills him.
What?
Which,
that lady kills him in the fourth one with her mind.
Yeah, but he's never really dead. It's not the fourth. The fourth one's when fucking Corey Feldman's in it. We went over this in the end of Cabin in the Woods, where he's the one that... Wait, I fucked it up. I fucked up in Cabin in the Woods. I said the fourth one's when he gets the axe in the head. And that's what's killed him, but that's not. Because he gets the axe in the head, but then he's still alive. And then the fourth one is when fucking Corey Feldman just machetes him, and you get the shot of Jason, like, sliding down the machete through his head and shit. And then that's when he's dead. So sorry to anyone watching the Cabin in the Woods one that heard me say that. They're probably typing in the comments, they're like, you idiot, you know. Anyway. Alright, let's get out here. We've been talking forever about this fucking...
jalapeno poppers from the gas station.
Stop!
And they were hot and juicy when I got home. We recorded this podcast. They're probably all old.
They're all old and maggots and shit are in them.
Anyway. I don't know about that.
Alright.
It's still going to be good.
Alright, we got to get back. Fucking boss is calling.
Is he?
See, boss is calling. You hear?
Oh, the smoke break. I got you.
That was what yeah. Anyway, thanks for ruining the
Read
illusion.
it out loud.
Yeah, read it out loud. Anyway, alright, thanks for listening. See you Friday.